to the Dope Nostalgia Christmas Special 2023. So I just want to welcome everybody because it's been a long time since we've all been together here in the Zoom land. So, hey, we've got Colin Krieger back.
Hi.
Quinn Clark is here.
Howdy.
Andrew Scott, welcome.
Hey.
And Kendra. How's it going?
Hello.
Kendra, I should give
Good.
you a last name, but you're on the show a lot, so.
People probably know me by now.
Well, I want to start by asking all four of you, do you enjoy Christmas music? Because a lot of people don't. Andrew?
I love Christmas music. Absolutely. And I know that like maybe I'm in the minority. I'm not really sure, but it's fun. I definitely am like, I don't get into it before December, but it's fun to celebrate. I have little kids that get really excited. And I grew up playing in like brass bands at the mall and stuff like that. And it's awesome and fun. And there would have been a long time where I was really cynical about it and be like, no, I don't like it and blah. But now I'm like, yeah, it's just fun and it's good.
Partly because you have kids now too. That I found once there's kids in the picture, people enjoy Christmas again in general.
Mm-hmm.
I went through that lull in my 20s where I'm like, could take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. But now, I mean, we got some parents in here. You guys have heard Baby Shark before. Did you guys know that there is a Santa Shark where it's like, ho, 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 ho. Like it's,
Yeah, there's a I think there's like a Baby Shark movie coming out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
A feature length 80 to 90 minutes of Baby Shark. Can't wait.
Oh,
so
that's
happy
gonna
for
be
you guys.
Sounds amazing.
You gotta wonder how much money they make off of those songs.
Oh.
I'm like,
The
man.
company that owns it, Pink Fong, yeah, they're like a
rolling
Korean,
in it.
They're a Korean company. It's amazing. They just slap out this like dog shit anime, 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 dog shit
When you're in
anime,
the
dog shit
skip-
anime, dog shit anime, dog shit
Oh,
anime.
it's in the Hall of
Greatest place to get
Illusions.
stuck, though.
It's
That's
been
the
so
remix.
long
Incredible.
since we've heard that.
I-
Quinn.
I thought you were doing that on purpose. I was like, this is a really interesting character you worked on here.
There's like Max Headroom there for a second on dog shit animation.
Was that what it was repeating? Dog shit
It was
animation.
just-
Yeah.
Perfect. Keep it in.
Please leave that in. That was
Leaving
great.
it in.
But anyways, I love Christmas music. It's fun. It's good stuff. Yeah.
It's another thing too with all the musicians here. The fact that we were probably raised playing these songs, at whether it be at school or doing choir or band, we were kind of immersed in them from a young age too.
Mhm.
Gets to you.
Yeah, well, and like you grow up on like the certain like either genre or like artists of like their albums, right? And then that becomes like a nostalgia thing for you too, right?
Do you,
Mhm.
Kendra?
I don't think I'll. Sorry.
Sorry, I was about to ask you, Kendra, if you enjoyed Christmas music. You were next.
I do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I went through my phase too, like where I didn't like it, but it was mainly when I was working at West Edmonton Mall and you heard it 24 hours a day. Like
Mhm.
you get tired of hearing it. But yeah, no, I definitely like Christmas music. I like, what they kind of stand for, especially like, spending time with your family and the nostalgia factor. Like Boney M Christmas was like a staple in my house growing up. So like I can't not hear that and just think of all the memories of Christmas growing up. So yeah,
No
I
doubt.
like it for sure. If it's good Christmas music, there's some really terrible ones.
What does Boney M do when they tour in the summer?
I doubt they do.
Just play Rasputin
Rasputin.
That's
They
their
just
over and
sing
over
Rasputin.
again?
That's it. Over and over again.
At weddings.
And Daddy Cool. They do Daddy Cool also. They have two.
Oh, yeah,
two. They've
that
got
too.
two.
Yeah.
They got two
So-
songs.
2 hits in a Christmas album.
And then they bring out the fake snow. They bring out the fake snow and then do all the Christmas stuff instead.
Yeah. They're German, right?
Ooh.
I
think
believe so. They were created by the same producer who created Milli Vanilli.
Really?
Oh wow, I
Yes.
didn't know that.
What?
Yes. I think his name is Frank Farian. Yeah. If you just watch them, which we should do an episode about, if you just watch that Milli Vanilli documentary, I believe it was on Paramount Plus or Torrents, as I like to get things.
As I like to call them.
Yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, it's the same producer.
Oh wow, that's
That's
interesting.
interesting. No idea.
Quinn, do you like Christmas music?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I actually like it quite a bit. Just only in December.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I like it.
I
The rest of
second
the
that.
year, please, no thank you.
Yes.
Actually, right up until December 1st. Like, yeah, I don't know. People who put Christmas decorations up before December, like that drives me up the wall. I think it's a little bit of my childhood trauma though, because November is my birthday month.
Yeah.
And even though it's like in the middle of the month and like November 14th, I still got a lot of like presents that were one big present for both my birthday and Christmas.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Buddy. My daughter was born on Christmas Day, if you can believe that. Yeah, ridiculous.
I feel like if you're a month on either side of December, like if you're in that 3-month window, like Christmas is like overshadows your birthday, like no matter what. So yeah, but that's okay. I still have warm
poor
fuzzies.
Evelyn, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys do a good job with it, though.
We try, but I'm laughing at just the image of like a sad little Quinn, just like I don't know why I find that so funny. Just
with his beard, he's like 6 years
with his
old.
beard.
He's always had the beard.
Always had the beard.
He's 6 years old.
It was a little darker when I was young. A little kind of blonde, a little strawberry blonde. Yeah, no, like that's seriously like my gifts, would like show up, like, and they were totally, Scrooge approved, and that's a Canadian nostalgia reference for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you get it wrapped in Christmas paper too. Oh yeah.
Sometimes. Oh yeah.
I did.
That's a big no-no. If your birthday's around, you have to have like separate paper and like not even like Christmas colors. Like get that green out of here. It's gotta be like just black.
November
paper.
14th. November 14th is really stretching it. Like so that's I think you got real heavily screwed there, Quinn. I don't.
Well, that's what I mean though. Is like look at how bad it is these days.
And I definitely had that happen.
Yeah. Think about this. Like, you'll be in the stores now in September, and you'll see them start pushing Christmas stuff out, right? Even before Halloween. So it's that bad now. It was I remember it when I was a kid. If I saw Christmas stuff in stores before like November, I was like, just fuck off and die, please.
How was it for you, Naomi? Because like you have a December birthday. It must be even worse.
December 27th.
I forgot.
I tried to. Well, when I was my sweet 16, I had in January on purpose so that kids would actually be there. Yeah, we did that sometimes. Like, give it a month and then have a party. Didn't you have an early party for your daughter, Andrew?
I did November 25th, a month early, and it was still Christmassy, for sure. Like absolutely this year. Yeah.
Well, Jesus's birthday is made up, so
it's also Justin Trudeau's birthday that day. So I mean, just whatever you like to.
I'm just saying you could just tell her it's a totally different day. She wouldn't know.
Well, Colin,
maybe too late now.
Sorry to cut you guys. I didn't mean to. Colin, do you enjoy Christmas music?
In general, no. But that's changing too, because it used to be when I was DJing Christmas parties, I just had a list and I went in and I pushed play and I read the newspaper through dinner and whatever, and people would say, "Oh, did you play Frosty the Snowman yet?" Yes. I didn't even know what was going on. But now that I'm a little further separated from that, I don't mind it. There's a few songs I actually like. They're not the standard songs that anyone else would play at a Christmas party, but they're the ones I like. So I don't hate it. I used to hate it, and now I tolerate it at least.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like if Green Jelly had a Christmas song, you'd be into that.
Something like that. Like one of the ones I really like is the Ramones' "Merry Christmas, We Don't Have to Fight Tonight." I think that's a great Christmas tune.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
And actually, I like the Guns or the Twisted Sister Christmas album also.
Oh, so
that's
good.
A deadly good album.
I think it's a great album. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Who does
and Green Jelly really do have a Christmas song. Did you guys know this?
No.
Didn't know that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just going to stick it in the chat here.
Okay, cool.
That's not code for anything. It's a real thing. I'm asking first here. There we go.
Colin,
In
you'll have
it goes.
You'll have to let us know how good it is,
Yeah.
Colin.
Well, it sounds like green jelly.
I can listen to it for sure.
Mhm.
He's been on the show. It was
The
one of the
guy from
weirdest
Green
interviews
Jelly?
yeah, it's been one of the weirdest interviews I've ever had, of course.
Well, one
And
of
all
the
of a
weirdest
sudden
bands that have ever been. So
Did you know there's been 1,000 members?
what?
What?
He
That
just
kinda
goes
makes
from
sense.
he goes on tour from city to city and he just recruits fans to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one way of doing it. Okay.
Yeah. Just
Wow.
like, okay, let's see what you guys got. All right, you're in. Sorry, I'm moving once
Quality
to
control,
see.
I'm sure.
Well, that's how
Maybe
Chuck
wants you
Berry
to
used
see
to
your
do it.
butthole.
Chuck Berry used to just have a band and walk on stage and play with them. So
Mhm.
Well, in a weird way, using house bands is kind of a really old school way of doing it. So,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
but it's also an art thing too. Like people are just coming on board to, like throw paint on the crowd and stuff too. So
Well, the reason we have gathered today, we're going to talk about two topics. One, the huge new modern standard over the last 30 years has been Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. We're going to do a bit of a, as Quinn said, deep dive on this song and its origins and its makeup and all of those good things. And then we're also going to talk about our New Year's Eve memories because we have never talked about New Year's Eve yet.
No, it's a
Yeah.
new topic for the show for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here's a little few facts about the song before we get into things. Next year is going to mark 30 years since the release of the song in 1994. And when it was released, it only hit number 6 on the Billboard Hot Adult Contemporary chart and number 12 on the Hot 100. That was then. It took 25 years for that song to hit number 1 on the US Hot 100.
It
When it
wasn't a
finally-
number one until 25 years later.
That's right. It broke the record for the longest gap between release and hitting number 1 at 25 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Mariah
Now
became
it's this monster of a song.
it's a monster you can't escape now. It's like there's the joke of how we unthaw her every year now after Halloween.
We
You know?
thaw
Yeah.
her. We thaw her.
She's the queen of Christmas
Unthawing
now.
would be putting her
We-
in the freezer.
Would be
Oh, shit.
freezing. Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't mean to be
No,
persnickety,
you
but
should correct me. Why
yeah,
the hell
no.
would I say unthaw? Okay. Anyway, thank you.
unfreeze, you mean?
Unfreeze?
I'm sorry. That is very.
You're very
I'll save my corrections. That's
No,
one.
don't.
That's the
I
only one I
appre-
get. That's the only one
I
I get.
appreciate grammar police. I appreciate them. So she became the first artist in history to top the chart in 4 separate decades, not just with that song, but with everything she's ever put out. But that was like the icing on the cake. That song has sold 16 million copies worldwide.
Oof.
In 2023, the song was selected by the Library of Congress for inclusion in the National Recording Registry. That's like making it an official classic. It is the only modern holiday standard that has come out in the last 50 some years. So, do you guys think there's any other songs that compare
Oh yeah,
in
for sure.
popularity that came out in the last 50 years?
Last
Do they
50
know it's Christmas? 100%.
Mhm.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
McCartney and Wings.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. But yes.
I would
Or-
say it's a standard, whether you like it or not.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I was thinking about was the Fairy Tale of New York, or Fairy Tale in New York, the Pogue song, which
Yeah,
I know in North America wasn't as huge, but it did hit number 1 in UK, and it's got the same thing where it since 2005 it's hit number 1 every year.
Mhm.
Yeah, for me, that
Christmas time.
song in particular is one that I first heard it as like covers
Mhm.
before I ever heard the original version. Like I'd heard the Pogues, but it just I just hadn't heard their Christmas output.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's got
yeah,
this homophobic slur right in the middle of it, so it didn't get a lot of airplay in. And I know that's not the context it was being used for, but that's probably didn't get a lot of radio play because
which
of
is
that.
so
But-
funny because it's almost been grandfathered in now, where people allow it. They're like, yeah, we can let one F bomb in. It's such a good song.
Mhm.
It is.
But with all
It's-
the recording, the re-releases of it, they've taken that out and used something completely
Mhm.
different. But even still, when you get to that part of the song, your brain automatically substitutes that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still know it's there. But for the new generation of people who've never heard it before, I guess they've sanitized it a bit, which is fine. I mean, I'm
Yeah, but
not a purist.
So,
Yep.
but if you go on Spotify and hit play on whatever random version you look up, it's not like you're necessarily going to get like a re-recorded or sanitized or cleaned up version.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and if you purchased the CD in 1985 when it came out, like
you get what you get.
You
Yeah.
get what you get. Yeah.
at the Christmas market here in Edmonton at Fort Edmonton Park, I was spending a lot of time there this holiday season so far, and it's on the playlist there. And it's definitely not the sanitized version, and nobody bats an eye. Children, just families everywhere shopping, taking it in.
Let's all sing along.
You see tons of people just like la 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 la, like
Yeah.
people are into that song. Yeah, I wonder if it's kind of it's I don't think it'll ever reach the status of All I Want for Christmas.
Mhm.
No.
But that it's definitely got the slow burn in popularity that All I
Yeah.
Want does. Wham, is that not a modern standard?
That's
Yeah,
where I was
definitely.
gonna go.
It also has the Whamageddon thing, which like I'm out, but I
lost
do that
day
every
2.
year.
Day 2.
Yeah. And
I'm still
but
in.
it is
I'm
fun.
still
See
in.
this one, like
still
everyone
in
knows
too.
about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
And
in. And this is being recorded on December 17th, folks. So
That's
17
incredible.
days,
We're getting close.
2
No,
out,
day-
3
Day
in.
2 at that very same Christmas market, it was also on that playlist. So
Mhm.
Well, you're just looking to step on a landmine if that's what you're doing. Yeah.
yeah, if you're literally hanging out in like a Christmas themed what do you call period what do you call Fort Edmonton Park? Like
Well,
what kind of park is it?
It's like a
Heritage
Jurassic
Park.
Park, but no dinosaurs.
Yeah, a heritage-
Yeah.
yeah. It is a bit what's the word, anacrophil for there to be Wham playing, on 1920 Street, but
Right. Right. I want to hear the Nutcracker. That's what I want. But yeah, and I'm sure Andrew Ridgely would appreciate your listens. So, wherever
Oh.
he can get royalties.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Oh, I'm sure he's doing just fine. Just fine.
mhm. Yep.
Mhm.
Any others you can think of? Because that's actually a lot more than I
Christmas in Hollis.
considered. Yeah.
Every movie that takes place at Christmas where they want to like show that like we're not a Love Actually, or even does Love Actually probably have Christmas in Hollis?
Oh, yeah.
That they're like, we're the cool, funny Christmas movie plays Christmas in Hollis. Every single one.
Mhm. And that not new, but newer, that Ariana Grande song has just been gigantic. Like I've been hearing that, and it feels very much like in the vein of Mariah Carey. Like let's capitalize on this a little bit.
I don't know that one.
I don't know it
I
either.
can't remember what it's called. If I played it, you guys would definitely recognize
I've heard
it.
her
Let me see
sing
if I can-
Santa Baby. I think it was not
It
Santa
popped up
Baby.
on a list I was looking at of modern country song.
Yeah.
I think I know which one that Andrew's talking about.
That's the one.
What about
Santa Tell Me.
Where Are You Christmas by Faith Hill? That one's a pretty big one now too.
I was going to mention
Mhm.
that one too. I think that one's kind of cooled off though.
Which one?
Where Are You Christmas?
Where Are You
Oh.
Christmas? In the early 2000s though,
It was big. Like the
I
Grinch
feel like
movie was huge.
it was on its way, yeah.
Mhm.
But I have
And
not heard it in ages and ages.
You know who wrote that song?
Oh, I have
Mar-
heard
Mariah
Louis
Carey.
Mariah
Luhu.
Carey.
Mariah Carey? No way! Wow.
She wrote "Where Are You Christmas." Yes.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Mariah Carey. People don't know that she's actually writes like all of her songs. So she's a talented lady. Is there anything you hate about that song, or for instance, something or flip side, love that song? All I Want for Christmas Is You.
If I see like a TikTok video or something like that of like a couple kind of like airbanding it in their car while they're driving and they're like having a great time, I'm like, oh, just drive off the road, both of you, please. But it is such a, like I've seen like videos of Mariah Carey's Christmas show. I think it's in New York. I think they do like a big thing. and it's a spectacle. Like, it's a cultural thing. I think it's incredible. Like, and she's just such a powerhouse of a artist, right? Like, there's just, like, she doesn't get as much credit as she gets. She is extremely influential, one of the most talented vocalists to ever live. And like it or not, like, she is astounding. I mean, if you don't like it because you've heard it a billion times, that's one thing, but it's a huge cultural
You
point.
can't deny the level of like talent you need to be able to sing that song. If you've ever tried to sing it, it's not an easy song, and like,
Yes.
that's why she's Mariah Carey. And like, I like going through, because Naomi had asked me to go through all of the covers like that have been done of this song, and it's very apparent when somebody cannot sing the song. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like all of the covers that I went through, the ones that I ended up liking the most out of them were the ones that did something different with it, because they weren't trying to fit into like her molds that like seems almost impossible. Like, some people came close, or some people went completely overboard. Like Fifth Harmony was like, let's outdo the vocal runs that she does in that song.
Buble does kind of a subtle loungy version of it.
His version's real good too. It's
not
good.
Bad.
Yeah. Like, it's Michael Bublé.
I listened to over 30 of them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's a lot. Like, a bunch of YouTubers. There's actually much like the Queen biopic or whatever, the one with Rami Malek as the playing Freddie Mercury. The guy who sings in that movie, what's his name? Mark Martel. He sounds like Freddie Mercury. He did a version of it too. So that was really interesting to listen to, because it's like Freddie singing Mariah Carey. Is weird. There's like Dolly Parton and Jimmy Fallon. There's CeeLo Green, the Cheetah Girls, Lady A. That one was really, really boring. What else? Like, just
Shania.
like Ariana Grande, Shania, Michael Bublé, Kylie Minogue with Mumford and Sons, which was
cool.
a really random one. Yeah. My Chemical Romance did one. Tori Kelly, Demi Lovato, Jimmy Fallon with Mariah Carey, like on his show. Instruments. That one was really funny. Like, there's just like there's so many of them.
You told me about one that was like in a minor key.
Yeah, that's by Chase Hallfelder. And it's a really, really cool version. He completely changes the whole vibe of it. Like, and he changed some of the lyrics to make it like a sadder version. And it's in a minor key. It's really, really cool, really powerful. I love that version, actually. It's very different. But like, once again, he sticks to like the general structure of the song, but he kind of does his own take on it, and I really liked what he did with it.
All I want for Christmas is you. Oh baby, I won't ask for much this Christmas. I won't even wish for snow. And I just wanna keep on waiting underneath the mistletoe. I won't make a list and send it to the North Pole for Saint Nick. And I won't even stay awake to hear those magic reindeer click. I just want you here tonight, holding on to me so tight. What more can I do? All I want for Christmas is you.
There was actually a duet that was done by Ingrid Michaelson and Leslie Odom Jr. That was a really piano, like pretty piano version. That was a beautiful duet of it. And it's completely different. They don't do any of the vocal runs in it. They kind of keep it simple. It's very different, but I liked it.
Yeah, there's a lot, yeah. But that's the thing is I'm pretty sure a lot of these versions they had to make their own, or I don't see the point of covering anything if you don't make it your own anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it's already something else. Like, the minute someone else is singing it, like, why not do something different, right?
Well, and have your own take on it.
Case in point, there's this new cover of Fast Car Tracy
my
Chapman's
God.
fast
Luke
car
Combs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Combs.
by some country dude, and
Luke
Luke
Combs,
he
Combs.
didn't even change it. Not really.
No, it's as note for note. I think he's doing it in the same original key. He's even his vocal delivery is very similar. Like,
Mhm.
almost like when he probably started doing it, being like, what song I've always wanted to cover. He was probably doing a little bit of a what's her face? Oh no, see, it's happening. I'm forgetting
Tracy
her
Chapman?
name. Tracy
Tracy
Chapman.
Chapman.
Tracy Chapman. He was probably doing a little bit of a impression of her in his head, just kind of like hearing her voice.
It's basically
But
like he went to karaoke and did it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because you'd be a little bit frustrated that you're like, man, it kind of sucks that there are like he has sold more copies of that song in the year that it's been out, his version has been out, than like Tracy Chapman ever sold in her lifetime so far.
Is that
But-
right?
Yeah, but here's what you do have to remember: she gets a royalty
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's
Mhm.
making
for every single one, so
bank
she's
on
not
that.
that upset about it. She
Yeah.
she made a pile of money on that song when it first released. It blew her into the stratosphere. She only really followed it up with a couple of very lukewarm, like one hit after that, and everything else was pretty like like middle of the charts, if at best.
And one
And-
hit years later, like 5 years down the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the fact
she
that
got an award too because
Yeah.
of him. Yeah, songwriter.
yeah,
award.
so the fact that this late in her career, when I don't even think she's been touring or anything for a long time, she's just suddenly like checks are showing up in the mail again. Like, so yeah.
what I hope
Her
for her is
version-
that when he goes to the CMA Awards or whatever, that he brings her on with him.
That would be great. That would be
Yeah.
a cool thing to do. And he probably, I would love to see that. I don't want to
He's
judge
actually
the guy, but
not, as far as the mainstream country guys go, he's not that up his own ass as
Okay.
much as some of them are.
that's good to
Now,
hear.
not that his music is my favorite music in the world, but as a person, he's not that bad. He's not an industry like creation. He wasn't like molded in the studio somewhere. He actually got famous on Vine.
Oh,
Yeah, he got famous from going viral from playing 6-second clips of just like country songs he was singing, and that got him a record contract. And he's huge. He's absolutely huge. But he's like, when you listen to him in interviews and stuff like that, he's actually kind of fairly humble. Like he really, really, really is really grateful and humble for like what he has. Now, the music he makes at this point, not all that great. So it kind of makes like, but people just love him. So he's got this
Yeah.
fan base that just buys whatever he puts out, and they'll fill stadiums just to hang out with this guy. He's a schlubby, chubby dude with like a worn out baseball hat on. He's not like he's not like a, I don't know.
Like a Blake Shelton.
Yeah, he's not a Blake Shelton or like a Florida Georgia Line or anything like that. Where
Oh, gross.
he's not wearing like
country.
yeah, he's not wearing true religion jeans and wow, that's like but anyway, that's way off point. But anyway, I do see what you're saying about like, yeah, it is a very note for note cover, but he delivered an amazing song to a fan base that
Yeah.
that like will eat up anything, and they went, and that even that fan base was like, holy shit, this is a great song. So
I guess
They
it can
never
be
would have
said
heard
too.
otherwise. Yeah.
that they might not have ever heard, or if they had
True.
heard it, they hadn't heard in 30 plus years, right? So
Yeah.
The flip side of the coin is sometimes when people cover something and they change it, they ruin it. So he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
ruin it.
That's true too.
yeah, but then those covers tend to go away. Like it's the superior covers of what were already well written good songs that like look at like like there's the famous examples like All Along the Watchtower, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hendrix has a definitive version of that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Or like songs you never knew were covers. Like I Love Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
That's a cover.
The
Who did the original?
Who knows?
That's like the longest time me and Bobby McGee, Janis Joplin, a lot of people didn't realize it was Chris Christopherson.
I think she may have recorded it before he ever did, though.
I thought he had done it first, but yeah,
He
like,
wrote the song, and I think he let her put it out first, and then he put
oh,
the version out.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm
'Cause
not.
I did hear a version that he did, and I'm like, it's completely different.
Oh yeah, it starts with him in the studio going, "If it sounds like a country song, it's because it's a country song." It's awesome.
There's
it-
one that's the Hard Sun, like the Eddie Vedder song that came out. I guess it's probably 15 years ago now, maybe like 2010 ish.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a cover of a Canadian artist, and I can never remember the guy's name. I think it's like Indio or Indigo or something like that. Yeah, Indio. So the guy's name is, his real name is Gordon Peterson, but his like his performance name is Indio.
Okay.
And guy from Toronto who Eddie Vedder like kind of did like a carbon copy of it. Speaking of Luke Combs, and had his massive hit. And yeah.
When oh god, what's her name? Rehab. Should have gone to Rehab.
Oh,
Amy
Amy
Winehouse?
Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. What was that? That her song Valerie.
Yeah.
That was the first song I heard of her. That was huge. That was a cover.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's a cover of a English guy.
Mark
the
Ronson?
the Zoobots or something like that, right? Is the name of the band?
Oh,
Something
I
like
thought
that.
I thought
Something
Mark
like that.
Ronson wrote it. I guess not.
No, it's a cover, and it's a very note for note cover.
Okay.
It's like the only difference is like instead of a lame British dude singing it, it's yeah, Amy Winehouse killing it. So, but
I just looked up. Sorry, I didn't
Oh,
mean
go
to
ahead.
cut you off there. I was just looking up the Bobby McGee one again because I was like, I sure somebody else had covered it first. And it actually was Roger Miller that did it first.
Oh, I love Roger
there you
Miller.
go.
What? I'd love to hear
Yeah.
that song.
There
I
you
swear
go.
to God, I thought it was, but yeah, you're right. Because Christopherson, he wrote it, and then Roger Miller put it up first. and
He
then
had to
she-
get talked into like recording. He thought he was going to be a behind the scenes songwriter, Nashville songwriter, selling to the big stars, and then eventually all these guys were like, "Why don't you just fucking make a record?" And then he put out Silver Tongue Devil, and that's got me and Bobby McGee on it. And anyway, that's my radio show.
Let's do a
Start Your Own
plug.
Country.
Yes, let's do
Yeah.
a plug, Quinn.
Start Your Own Country on bigeradio.com. You can stream it live at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, or you can find the archive at bigeradio.com. I mostly play music, which is cool. We've got a license to do that, but I tell stories like that between songs. That's what I do.
Cool.
Something is falling in Quinn's peripheral.
Oh. My ring light.
I'm like,
Trying
it's
to be a
going to
pro.
crush him.
Trying to be a professional.
Okay, I was gonna say, when we're talking about the hate or love of All I Want for Christmas Is You, Colin, hate it or love it? What do you hate about it? What do you love about it?
I hate that it's been drilled into my head over and over and over, and it's a definitive Christmas song, and I know it note for note. I hate that. I wouldn't say there's anything about it that I love.
Yeah.
No, it's not one that I'm happy when it comes on. No. As a person who doesn't completely love Christmas music anyway, yeah, that's not one that I would love.
I love Mariah, but I usually skip this song. I just, it's overplayed to me.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Whammy yet this year. I haven't failed in Whamageddon, but I probably heard Mariah Carey 10 or 12 times.
I would much rather hear all the other songs on her Christmas albums, to be honest.
I've never heard another Christmas song of Mariah Carey ever, even once.
She's got 2 Christmas albums, so. Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
Well, then let's get some singles going from that, so we don't have to be tortured with.
Oh, Santa. Oh, Santa's a great song. It's really upbeat. It's fun.
Is that
Fun.
like
Yuck.
is that like Hey Santa? What's Hey Santa? Hey Santa is hold on for one more day. Wilson Phillips did Hey Santa. Is it like that? Hey
No.
Santa, hey
wrote-
Santa.
She wrote
No?
Oh Santa. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, forget it then.
Um,
Now, the thing that made this song the classic that it is, is most likely the fact that it doesn't sound like it belongs to a single era. And we'll dive into that more. Like, it's timeless sounding. It sounds like back in the 40s and 50s when a lot of the non-hymnal Christmas songs were written. So during the 40s and 50s, World War II was happening. People were nostalgic for, family and having a good Christmas together because it was such a dark time. So that's when you got Irving Berlin writing White Christmas, Bing Crosby singing like everything that was written, Nat King Cole, Judy Garland. These guys sang many of those classic Christmas songs that are more about family and home and enjoying each other's company during the holiday season, not so much about the birth of Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the intro always sounds very 50s. The intro to All I Want for Christmas Is You, the da-dun, 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 that's very 50s.
I would almost say even more 60s, like Phil Spector.
Maybe 60s, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that very girl group from the 60s sound.
Yeah.
Like I think Phil Spector would have produced back then.
Did you already research that? Because that's funny that you mentioned that.
No, I just
Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. Andrew, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it has a really interesting chord progression too. Like it's not a typical kind of 1-4-5 sort of progression.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost like a kind of like a Roy Orbison, like Italian opera influenced chord progression.
Mm-hmm.
And like the sleigh bells and everything like that in the beginning, it does sound like that sleigh ride song, which I've never really kind of thought about, but that like it, like the bells and everything, it really does feel like it feels like a little, yeah.
That's the way
You can totally hear like the 40s, 50s, 60s influences. I've never thought about it, but there's a lot of influences in there.
I do have a theory though, that if you play sleigh bells over anything, it immediately makes it
a Christmas song.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Ask Bruce Springsteen. All of his songs are Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Oh, and brutal. I'm going to tell you right now, that's the worst Christmas song of all time. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, done by Bruce Springsteen. That is the worst Christmas song of all time.
His Santa Claus Is Coming to Town is exhausting.
Oh, that's the one I mean. That's the one I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like Bruce.
Wasn't he drunk though?
I had to.
He just always sounds drunk.
And there was a girl in a car.
Day in my life.
And I was sad because I couldn't talk to my mama. Yeah. That's the whole thing.
Here's another song about a Cadillac.
Yeah.
I
don't understand.
I love Bruce Springsteen, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're all very accurate.
No. It's terrible. Yeah.
He must have done a cover of "Run, Run, Rudolph."
He did.
Adams
That's Brian
did.
Adams is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Brian.
Canada's Bruce.
Yeah.
Canada's Bruce. Come on.
Canada's Bruce. Wow. Yeah, you know what? If the only album Bruce Springsteen ever made was "Born in the USA,"
that'd be fine.
Well, I'm just saying that Brian Adams is the personification of the Canadian version of "Born in the USA" over and over and over and over again.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's not as Canadiana as Bruce is Americana.
That's true.
That's true. Brian
That's
doesn't
true.
really. He's done a couple songs that were like.
Wait,
like
does that make
Remember and
Stompin'
Stay.
Tom Connors the Canadian Bruce Springsteen?
Bruce Springsteen, yes,
Yes,
it does.
truly.
Yes. And I can get on board with that. That's all. That's just fine by me.
That's a way better Bruce. Yes.
Bud the Spud. Could you imagine Bruce Springsteen covering Stompin' Tom?
I'm sure it's happened.
Those ketchup, love, potatoes.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dope Nostalgia listeners, I love you and I thank you so much for being a part of this show and its success over the last 2 years. We have what's called Patreon for those who want to support the show financially. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a subscriber and get bonus content, early podcast release, all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff, and more. There's different tiers of membership starting at only $1 a month. And we even have some special merch for you guys who are in it for the long run. So please, join our Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/dope nostalgia.
This year I want a tree that doesn't shed.
And here's the very tree. This magnificent 6.5-foot Noma Algonquin Yukon artificial tree, just $74.76 at Wilco.
Somewhere there's a box of chocolates with my name on it.
Remember them this Christmas with a box of delicious fantasy shells or scrumptious Belgian chocolates, just $4.99 each. Now at Wilco.
Wilco believes in Santa Claus.
Like a window on the roof.
I love Christmas. It's a magical time. A time for giving. A time for caring. A time for sharing.
It's the last bag.
I saw them first.
Don't think you did.
I think I did.
Didn't.
Did.
Didn't.
Did.
Didn't.
Did.
Didn't.
Did.
Didn't.
Thank you so much.
Walkers, too good to share.
Well, I guess it is Christmas.
Well, the opening chimes of All I Want for Christmas Is You automatically give it away that they were going for that sound, which was created by a celesta. A celesta was used as well in the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker, and it kind of gives it that crystally sound that kind of grabs your attention at the beginning. I love the sound of the celesta.
I'm having a hard time picturing it. I can hear the sleigh bells. I can hear the piano. What does the celesta sound like? Oh, that intro part.
Yeah.
Ew, okay.
Glad to know you've heard the song before.
What is it? I'm usually not tuned in until I hear the piano come in and do those hard chords, those like hard 8 chord changes.
Yeah.
And then my head turns.
Can you just do like a reel of all the different noises that are being made in this episode and just like put it all together?
Yeah, we could do
song.
it a cappella of the song just like that.
By the way, this is how musicians speak to each other. We're not like actually talking in like, you know, like musical theory at all.
Language.
We're just like the part that goes ba-bum ba-bum and the ding ding part.
This song was co-written by her co-writer of all things, Walter Afanasieff. So I watched some interviews of him talking about the song. And when Quinn said that Phil Spector comment, it was bang on because it was inspired by the Phil Spector wall of sound idea, basically turning a pop rock song into an orchestral production. So there's so many elements of things that are happening in it. Like you mentioned, the like rock and roll piano chords and such from that 40s and 50s, 60s sound. And the whole thing was inspired by an album by Phil Spector called A Christmas Gift for You, which featured vocalists like Darlene Love, Darlene Love was technically the queen of Christmas before Mariah, because she sang a lot of those classics. The Ronettes, the Crystals, it's a big collaboration album, various artists. So that's kind of what they were going for.
Cool.
This is a bit. Oh, sorry. With the Phil Spector thing, and this is getting really picky, but he would often do his things in mono mix, like he wouldn't do any left and right stuff. Is All I Want for Christmas also a mono mix? Does that make sense? Like the recording itself, is it just
that
flat?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yep.
Because that would definitely be very much a Phil Spector thing.
He really murdered that, didn't he?
Oh, and yeah, so many.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was
really wigged out. I don't know. I just
he really bulleted with a gun on some stuff.
And then,
with blood.
Really inspired Mariah Carey to go #1 with a bullet.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But people compared All I Want for Christmas Is You to the classic Christmas Baby Please Come Home.
Mm.
You know that one?
Yeah.
U2's covered it. My
There's a
favorite
lot
band.
of covers on that song too, I think.
Yeah.
Including Mariah, because she sang that song on the same album. So
nobody knows it because all they know is that song.
yeah, exactly. Do you guys we mentioned earlier other tracks on the album. You guys aren't aware of any of the other songs from the first 1994 Merry Christmas from Mariah?
No.
No, I don't think I've ever. I think I might have heard that "Oh Santa" one. Is that from the same album or is that from
No.
the second?
Oh, Santa's
Yeah.
from her second Christmas album.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard that only because I'm pretty sure that I've heard you sing it at karaoke, if I'm not mistaken.
I have.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember that just because of you. But I'm
In
like,
the
I don't think
desperate need to hear something other than All I Want for Christmas Is You, I would sing that one. Yeah.
in protest.
What about I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas? That's a good one. Let's do that one.
Mariah should do that song?
Yeah, Mariah should do I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
That'd
be great. Doesn't that fit her image with the diamonds and the furs and shit like that? She could have the hippopotamus also.
She's got enough money. She could buy one.
Yeah, she could actually have a hippopotamus for Christmas. See, that's the beauty of it. And yeah.
Just a necklace made out of hippo teeth. Be like, look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And little baby sea lions for headlights. Yeah.
Oh. Yes. So since we're many musicians here talking about the song, what's your opinion on the writing of the song? Like we said earlier, there's no real chorus to it, right? Because it just says all I want for Christmas is you at the end of every refrain. So it's like verse, verse, bridge, verse. It's pretty much the structure.
There's a bridge?
Well, there's the verses end with
Just
like
there's
that.
an intro, Quinn.
Yeah, the verses end with like that kind of like meow 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 meow, like that kind of refrain, and that definitely feels like a chorus. All I want for Christmas is some loving from a hippopotamus. Like there's definitely there's a chorus-esque repeated part that you could, but yeah, there isn't necessarily like
almost like a pseudo chorus or something.
Like a brief kind of
yeah. I dig that kind of writing.
It's old school,
smart,
right?
Because it's smart. You're taking that hook, and that's just like the repetition of it. This is why I think it's such a big staple song now, is because that, like, the catchiness of that, and it's smart. You didn't need a really like elaborate chorus to make it big.
That's the earworminess of it all, right? If you've got a hook, a strong hook, then you don't even need the chorus.
Well, even the instrumentation being such a grab, like, and having like the hooks throughout, like with the way that you guys are able to sing the instrumentation, that's as much a hook as just that line alone. That's why.
Yeah, it's like singing the Sweet Child of Mine intro guitar solo riff.
Right.
Lots of like pretty subtle innuendos in the song as well. Like it's just innuendo-y enough to be like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like there's a line about no toys gonna do. I need you. It's like, oh, okay, there we go. You know, like that's And
it doesn't even, it's not even like romantic. It's like, it could be like, I need you, my mom or dad, or like it could be anybody that's close to you.
It feels romantic, but maybe it could be about, your grandparents, but it could be,
I think it's probably like ingrained that it's about that, because if you like think of like the video and everything, it does seem very specific to like a romantic relationship. But I don't
Because
think
she's doing a lot of
anything...
posing and posturing in her pretty
she is.
Santa outfit.
Oh man, there's a cover where Justin Bieber is singing with her, and that whole video is very strange.
Yeah, isn't she?
They look like they're singing it to get like to each other. It's really weird.
But is that age gap? How much different is that age gap between her and Bieber? Different from the age gap between her and Nick Cannon?
It's probably not much, but like when they did the video, he looked like he was 16, so that's why it was really strange.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it was an odd choice, and that came out on his Christmas album.
Yeah, it's pretty much just her version, and he sings parts over top of it and sings the second verse, I think.
Now, okay, since you mentioned Justin Bieber, I've really been resisting, but I've been told many times that Justin Bieber's version of Little Drummer Boy is one of the best versions of all time. And I haven't listened to it, so I wanted to know if should I cave? Should
You want
I
to see
give
the
in?
receipts?
Yeah. Does anybody else hold this opinion? It's a 17-year-old who keeps telling me that it's like I got to get down with some Biebs, and but it's like Busta Rhymes is on it, so there is part of me.
Oh, that's a plus. That's a surprise
I
guest.
know, but
You just
it's one
up
of
the
those-
quality.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, give it a
totally.
listen. If it's bad, it's bad. But like, yeah,
So nobody's familiar with it.
it's like the Jon Bon
I don't
Jovi
think I've
thing.
heard it.
You know, like Bon Jovi's put out so much Christmas stuff, and it's like I don't know why. I just don't. Those two just don't go together, right? Like I just don't like. I don't mind Jon Bon Jovi so
I
much,
feel
but
like
it's like
Naomi's gonna disagree with you.
he's put out so many Christmas albums, like it's crazy.
No, he
right?
hasn't.
And
Actually,
he's put out
Bon
so
Jovi
many.
has never put out a Christmas album.
So many.
He has Christmas songs. He's got
Christmas songs.
maybe
Okay,
four,
sorry,
Christmas singles.
maybe
I
four
apologize.
Christmas songs.
Well, Please Come Home for Christmas.
Are you confusing
Bells
him
will
with
be
the
ringing.
boss?
I Wish Every Day Could Be Christmas. Backdoor Santa. Yikes.
Oh shit! Blue
Backdoor
Christmas.
Santa.
Yeah, Backdoor Santa in '92.
He doesn't
If
just
I
come
Get
down
Home
the
on
chimney.
Christmas Eve.
I'd let him be my
Yeah.
backdoor Santa. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Blue.
You know, it's just he just
Blue.
is not an artist that I don't think of when I think of Christmas time. Like there's something about Justin Bieber that I'm like, that's not a Christmas time thing.
Oh, but now
you know
that
what I
you
mean?
mention it, that was it? Please Come Home from Christmas.
Yeah.
Is that
he,
that
That was
Cindy
Bon
Crawford
Jovi.
was in that video,
That
wasn't
was Cindy Crawford.
that was a
in that
hot
video.
video.
that could almost
was a
be a
sexy video.
standard, right?
That should have been Backdoor Santa, but just saying right there.
Yeah, the Eagles did that one. Did the Eagles write that song? Please Come Home for Christmas.
I don't know.
I believe it was theirs, and then Jon Bon Jovi covered it.
Oh, okay.
Old JBJ.
Yeah. But that would still be within the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So
As
that
an
would
Eagles-
count. Because like,
an
what's the
Eagles
cutoff
classic.
for 50? 73, right?
Oh shit, that's sad, isn't it? Look how.
Well, because I was just
Yeah.
thinking that I'm like, does that mean that
73.
the last standard
I
Christmas
still think it's
standard
like 1950.
before 73 would probably be Elvis's Blue Christmas then, right?
Yeah.
That's like 50s, maybe 60s, maybe
60s.
Maybe- I think
60s.
okay, 60s. Okay,
I'll give that to you, Andrew. It was more than 4 songs because yeah, he did cover Blue Christmas too. And
No, nobody
that's
can
a-
do
Jon Bon
Blue
Jovi-
Christmas, but
Jon Bon
Elvis,
Jovi
that's
has
it.
an Elvis obsession. So yeah.
I bet Jon Bon Jovi's going to put out a song about like the war on Christmas and how we can't say Merry Christmas anymore. Wouldn't that be great? I'm sorry, I'm not. I shouldn't. I know you're a Jovi, but yeah.
I'm
That
a
would be
Jovi.
so
Actually,
funny.
no, he's pretty progressive, right? Like,
Oh,
doesn't
I
he-
know. I just
doesn't
He's a
he keep, like
Democrat.
homeless people in his kitchen.
it'd be so funny. Just
He's a
I don't know how you put that into a song.
building
but like
houses. He's out there building houses, feeding people. Democrat.
Well, he's not boomer enough,
Mhm.
right? Like he was in his 20s and in the 80s, so he's like Gen X, early Gen X, right?
He's an
Mhm.
Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, he's just more he's more nihilist than you know. He's like, fuck it, feed the homeless because who cares?
Oh, that's good. I love that. Yeah. Maybe I do like Bon Jovi.
I have no idea. I'm just assuming what Bon Jovi's politics are like. He likes wine. I know that.
You
It's
tried
a good
his
wine.
wine, didn't you? Yeah.
During the pandemic, yeah, I bought a bottle, 2 bottles. It was really good.
Yeah. So it's him and Maynard from Tool. They're both making wine.
Yeah,
So
Everyone's
many
making wine.
artists do that. Pink does too, and Brenda Carlisle.
your
no.
2 faves.
Yeah. I would know that.
Does she make a rosé?
Yes.
Oh, does she?
I haven't
Literally?
tried any of
Does
them
it
yet.
Pink?
If she's
Pink?
pink, she
Yeah.
has to make a rose. Absolutely.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already made the pun when we talked about Bon Jovi making wine on an episode of L2L, but I think we called the episode "Lay You Down on a Bed of Rosé." And there are a lot during the pandemic. There was a lot of like Instagram reels of Bon Jovi and his son just shithoused on their own wine.
Yep.
Just in the kitchen going, "We make some pretty good wine, Dad."
They were playing beer pong and shit.
I
in a
remember
big
seeing that
fancy
one.
house.
Yeah.
But they were playing with rosé, and John's just drunk.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
great.
Just rosy cheeked and like just happy though, hey?
Oh yeah.
Good for them.
They were doing what everybody was doing during the pandemic, drinking
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Christmas every day for Bon Jovi. How about that? He doesn't have to put out a Christmas album.
That's so cute too, because like our listeners don't know that like the five of us spent a lot of time online together during 2020.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. Well,
We had a
How
birthday
we learned
party
how
for
to
my
use
cat.
Zoom.
That was a fun night.
Yes, we all learned how to use Zoom together as a family.
Yeah.
Had a bad movie club. Still have it. Still to
Mhm.
this day. And I love it. Yeah, we would stay up. Well, there was that short time period where most of us didn't even have to go to work. So
Mhm.
like we would sometimes be up to like 5, 6, 7, 8
Even when we
drinking
were
on
going to
Zoom.
work, like I remember I was only working like not even maybe 15 to 20 hours a week at the most for a long time.
Playing a lot of Jackbox. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Andrew.
Now I forgot the name of that. Yeah.
Andrew, when he started going meow, 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 meow.
it totally reminded me of that Jackbox song too. That's probably where that meow thing comes from. Oh, I love that. Yeah. If you played Jackbox and you played the game, you know what song that is, the meow song.
Yeah, it's that game where you write in your own quotes or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name. It's Quiplash. It's Quiplash. Anyway, okay, back to
We
Mariah.
all pause so that you have space to edit.
You can add it.
Okay.
We're all professionals here. We knew exactly what to do.
Edits. All right. So to wrap up about the writing of All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah says she wrote it on a Casio keyboard. Between her and Walter, the initial idea, lyric, and melody was written in 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So after that, all the fine tuning and such, of course, that the development of the structure of the song took a bit longer, but she wanted to write a song about Christmas being magical because she had a rough upbringing and wanted to give people something happy and festive, and the things she wants to focus on were what she loves most in the holiday season. So lyrically, that's what the tune was about. It was programmed into a computer and not made with live instruments.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, everything is synth?
Apparently. I don't think
Huh.
it's. I don't know about a Celesta though.
Yeah.
I don't think you can synth that, can you?
And
Oh,
for,
you totally can, absolutely.
for
Yeah.
90,
okay.
what year did it come out? 94, 95?
94. October 94.
Damn, that's some pretty convincing.
Yeah. Like the drums in particular do not sound like
yeah.
synth drums.
They don't.
Yeah. And she wanted to go for that Motown style background vocals. And to her, she thinks that's part of why the song hits as good as it did. I think it's a combination of
Well,
things.
How many times are her vocals layered on that song? It sounds like there's just like an army of Mariahs.
I don't know, when I was listening to the separated track, it sounded like there were other background vocalists, but I'm not really sure.
They might do a
They're
lot
all
of they might have
female.
done a lot of doubling too. Just like every time they recorded her, they just take
Got her
those
to do it
tracks and
again.
just yeah.
Actually, they may not have all been female. Trey Lorenz might have been singing on that, who's been her longtime backup vocalist. He's the one who duetted "I'll Be There with Her."
Oh,
Cool.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she re-recorded it with Justin Bieber. That was one of my next points. And she goes on tour this year. She was actually doing a Christmas tour instead of just doing the one show she does in New York or wherever. She went on a proper tour, and of course it's a complete extravaganza. Her kids are old enough now, so they perform on stage with her. So it's really nice. She's kind of like, I still consider her the Queen of Christmas. That can be debated. But when she gets thawed out in November, they always, what did they say? I saw another meme that was like about January 1st, Mariah returns back into the ocean.
Yeah. I've seen that meme. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And just to top things off, how much money do you think this song has made?
Oh man, I think about that, like I've thought about that every Christmas. Like, how much money does she make every single year off the song? Because like that's the thing with like being an artist like that, if you have one really good song, especially a Christmas song, it's such a smart way to make money. It's like it comes back every year and you get money every single year. It's just gonna keep making her money.
Every record label has been trying to get their big artists to do what Mariah did at Christmas, and no one can do it. They've tried.
You can't just force that to happen. Yeah.
No, it was just a twist of fate. It was like a strike of lightning.
Yeah.
You know, nobody else has been able to do it. Any guesses on how much it's made? Like Price is Right style, or
several $100,000. It's above $500,000.
It's definitely she's definitely made more than 500,000. Yeah,
I mean
would
per
say
year.
500,001.
Yeah, that's
millions.
right.
She would be
Per
making.
year, I'm saying.
It's if it's hitting number one all around the world, like slow burn style for like decades. It's millions of dollars every year, hundreds of millions. I would imagine by now.
As of 2023, the estimated total is $72 million.
Oh wow!
Has been made on that song.
What's the year? What's the yearly?
That I don't know.
Like she has personally made 72 million.
I think songwriters. I think she splits that with Walter, but maybe that's her take. It wasn't. My information was not specific. It was. It was me watching her on some kind of news show or something. Yeah. So
that's a lot of money.
So
must be nice.
She's rich as fuck.
So we all need to write a really good Christmas song and put it out there and be the next Mariah.
Oh yeah.
We'll do that as a group effort.
Yes.
Oh man, who has Christmas songs like that just didn't hit?
Aside from Bon Jovi.
I'm thinking of like, didn't the Kinks have that Father Christmas? Father Christmas, bring us some money.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by didn't hit. Like, because there would be, I remember I actually really liked it. It was that Fall Out Boy, whatever their Christmas song was, like Merry Christmas, I Could Care Less. Like, that's a great song. And
I like his voice. Patrick Stump has a great voice. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it was a hit for a while, but it's not going to be the same level as like a Mariah Carey. Not that anything else really.
Yeah,
can be.
I don't know. I was just thinking of like artists that have like just that random Christmas song on one of their albums. Not even a Christmas album, just
one song.
Just one song. I guess the Ramones kind of counts for that too, right? Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight.
You have not done yourself a proper job of making a Christmas album unless you've done Oh Holy Night on it. Everybody sings that song. It's one of those songs that kind of prove like how talented are you? Can you hit the notes in this song? But yeah, Oh Holy Night. I swear every Christmas album it has a cover of it. Especially if you're a diva, you have to.
Oh, absolutely.
It's my favorite.
It just keeps
Christmas
going
song.
up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and the high note is way so far from where you started. Yeah, you have to have diva voice to get there.
And so long, like an impossible song to sing. You got to have your sing together.
I think the
I'm
male
a big fan of
equivalent
hymns.
of that is probably A Little Town of Bethlehem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially in the
What about Drummer
crooner
Boy?
era. No. Like in the crooner era, every single if you put any of the Rat Pack's albums on, even Elvis, all of those guys, every Bing Crosby, all of them, that entire stretch, every single one of them. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. It's just such a like crooner, like I'm sure Bublé has probably got it on every single Christmas album he's ever put out, just a different version. And it swings, oh, a little town of Bethlehem.
Yes. Well, that's true. I never really thought about it, that song. You're right. Yeah.
It's on everyone.
I've always been a fan of the hymns, the Christmas hymns, the real old ones, because just the chord structure and beautiful melodies. It's really, really nice music that we only want to hear, I guess, 1 month a year. But it's really nice. The lawsuits.
Yeah, there was a number of lawsuits against Mariah Carey because Vince Vance and the Valiants came up with a version of they had a song called All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Okay.
And it came out in I think 1989, something like that. In the late 80s anyways, and it was before Mariah Carey's version for sure. And as recently as 2023, the guy, his real name isn't Vince Vance. It's like Andy Stone or something like that. He was still trying to sue Mariah Carey, and he's done this a number of times. And as Quinn alluded to kind of before we started recording, it was like the phrase, all I want for Christmas is you, is, you know, very repeated and a common kind of line. And he's like, well, that's it. That's what they stole from me. And of course they didn't, because there's a whole bunch of songs that have that kind of line in it.
Yeah.
But
so this song is out there and available to hear, right? Like,
yeah, I think
we listen to it. Does it sound? Yeah, if you got it, that would be amazing.
I got it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
It's actually kind of awesome. I'm just gonna let you guys know here.
Okay.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at this video. Amazing.
Hell?
What the hell is up with his hair?
That's Vince Vance there.
He looks like Paul Rubens.
He does.
It's weird, the tone of this. I can't quite place my finger. It's like, it's throwbacky, but then once you see his appearance, it's supposed to be kind of like a bit campy.
Oh, they're going for camp.
Yeah, but it's like, other than his appearance, it's almost too
it sounds more like
to be campy.
Barbara Mandrell in the 80s or something. So crazy.
But yeah, so he's like, you guys ripped me off.
He's never going to win that lawsuit.
No,
That's not nearly close
never
enough.
in a million years.
He's just trying to get in on the money. 100%.
He absolutely is, yeah. And can you imagine the lawyers Mariah Carey has, like, on her just for
Yeah,
whatever
good
reason? Like, there's no way.
She'll use what she makes off of that song this year alone on paying for a good lawyer, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's move from Christmas over to the topic of New Year's Eve, which we've never delved into before. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get Colin to start on this one. What's a New Year's Eve memory from the 90s specifically, if you can think of? If not, if it's another decade, that's cool too.
A New Year's Eve memory from the 90s. Well, I'm going to go all the way to Y2K, to year 2000, which I get technically started in the 90s, and how it was going to be such a huge disaster, and how absolutely nothing happened. And how everybody was making sure they had enough water and stuff, because if the utilities turned off, what were we going to do? And nothing happened.
Yeah,
I still remember that.
Yeah. And everybody was watching, okay, New Zealand is going to flip the clock over first. What's happening? Nothing is in New Zealand. Okay.
Planes are falling out of the sky.
Yeah. Australia is okay. Okay, that's good. Southeast Asia is good. Okay. And not a thing happened. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
the biggest build up for nothing to happen.
No, I was scared.
We started hearing about
everything's run by computers.
We all were.
Like 23 years later.
I took a few $100s out of the bank because I thought, geez, I don't know. And I felt so stupid after, but that's what.
Did you do any sheltering or bomb prepping for?
No, nothing like that. No, I went out that night and got extremely hammered, so I wasn't that worried about it, obviously.
We got drunk, but we did it in my mom's basement with my girlfriends I grew up with. We were just like sheltered together, and we're like, let's just get drunk in my mom's basement, and it was a great night. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
What'd you all do for Y2K?
What did I do? I was in junior high, so I stayed home.
Oh, what? Making us feel like old timers here.
Played with your 90s toys?
Yeah.
I probably watched Much Music. That was my thing back then.
Nice.
Did they have a New Year's Eve show?
They did that. I'm just like jumping into what I was going to talk about, but
Oh, I see.
yeah, my sisters and I my parents would go out and do their New Year's Eve partying, and we would stay home and we would get like a whole bunch of junk food, like popcorn, ice cream, like candy. We'd make our own confetti and we'd stay up till midnight watching. I think they did a New Year's Eve, is it like similar to Fromage or something? It was a countdown of some sort. I don't really remember exactly what the show was. I remember Ed Lassock was involved in it, and they did a countdown of like all of these like videos and stuff like that. And my sisters and I would watch it and stay up till midnight, and then we'd throw the confetti all over the place and eat our ice cream and go to bed.
Fromage was the sickest. It was like the whole week they would keep playing Fromage with Ed the
Oh
Sock.
yeah, and like the hilarious like videos and like I remember your episode with him and like when they were talking about Fromage and how like people were like trying to get on the show.
What's that? What's going on?
Yeah, I hear something in the background.
That's it. There's a commotion going on here. It'll be over in a second.
Shut up.
I can tell you specifically what happened if you want to be grossed completely out.
Okay. No, Andrew has a sensitive stomach.
I can do this. I mean,
kidding.
right, we'll
Like,
just,
I
I'll
think
let
I
you know.
can.
My dog enjoys eating poop. That's one thing my dog enjoys doing. And occasionally he tries to bring one into the house so he can save it for later.
Oh, gross.
My wife just had an argument with my dog at the back door about his cargo.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
that
gross.
was what you had to hear. So that's I bring a little something to the podcast. Don't say that I don't.
A truly magical moment. Thank you.
Truly magical moment.
A holiday family moment. That's so
Holiday
sweet.
family month. That's what. Yes, that's right.
Lots of poopy gifts in your Christmas future.
Ugh.
Oh man.
Andrew's face is thanks enough for sharing.
Yeah, no, I don't want it. That's an image I don't need. I'm glad I just heard it and didn't see it.
Quinn and Chonks and I during the pandemic, we invited Andrew to come watch this thing. That was like
one of the YMH lives.
Yes. Yeah. Can you
was so
describe
funny.
what that show is?
Well, if anybody knows the podcast, Your Mom's House, with the married comedians of Tom Segura and Christina Pazitsky, during the pandemic, they started doing these live episodes that you had to. They were pay-per-view. They're behind a paywall, so this isn't going out on YouTube or anything like that, right? But they had guests and other comedians, and then they would, they like to show a lot of clips on their show, and people comment and laugh about the clips and whatever, and because they were behind the paywall, they decided they'd push it a little further, and they had a segment they call the heavy segment, which usually involves a lot of bodily fluids, like bizarre sexual practices, just stuff that would really traumatize a sensitive person. And yeah, and here's the thing is because they did it once and it was successful, then they did it a handful more times, and every time they had to top themselves. And I think I don't know whose idea it was maybe it was Naomi. Was it you being like, we need to invite Andrew to this?
Yes.
But it was like, it's not going to be that bad. And then it was like this guy like stapling his balls to like a plank. And then he's like, oh, it hurts so bad. Like, it was just.
Wasn't there a lady in high heels that like had the guys' balls and junk?
Andrew refused to believe it was real.
I still don't think it was, because I don't think
the body could sustain that amount of torture.
I don't think a person could lie still while someone in like stilettos.
Unless you're getting off on it.
I guess so, but it really looked,
painful,
yeah,
just stomping away.
Just stomping Tom, like just having a great time.
Just thinking about the stud.
Like she was really carving into him. So yeah, no, I was like, man, that could be like
mashing his potatoes.
Yeah.
Like, well, guys, I gotta go. That's what. That's what.
This is fun.
Said.
Thanks, guys. We'll just gonna get my kids off to bed now. Which is actually why I had to leave that night. I'm like, I gotta go change some diapers and put my So that was an odd transition.
You're like, I have to go scrub my eyeballs.
I just have to lie in bed with my eyes open, staring at the ceiling for another couple hours.
Yeah. Wait for the screaming to stop.
Anyway, they're all available to rent on their website. So
Plug.
Yeah,
we get nothing for it.
What's amazing though is that they've had like they've had musical guests like Marcus King on the same show and everything like that. It's it just reminds me of the internet, like in the good old days.
Oh, like E-Bomb's World and
Yeah. Remember when just send your friend a sneaky link and be like, "Hey, check this out," and it would be 2 girls, 1 cup.
blue waffle.
Oh no.
These are things I have forgotten about.
2 girls, 1 cup. Classic. The reaction videos are what you really wanted to watch. Was people seeing it for the first time.
After you had been subjected to it, then you were like, let the other people react to this thing.
Well, it's just cycle of violence. It's like people who have been abused tend to abuse someone else. That's exactly what 2 girls, 1 cup instilled in people.
Well, yeah.
Let's do a reaction video.
No, I know that the saying is hurt people, but
Yeah.
what does it mean when you're laughing?
What's the psychology behind that?
So do we have any other Y2K stories?
Oh, I don't know about Y2K specifically, but you know what you guys remind me of? Because I don't really remember Y2K, like specifically that New Year's.
Drunk.
I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah, that's probably some vodka slimes, and that's about all I remember. But I do remember the year before that, 99, like 98 into 99.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Agricom on New Year's Eve to see a little band from Saskatchewan that was on the rise. Like they were booked to play the Agricom on New Year's Eve, called Wide Mouth Mason.
Oh, they play Edmonton every other month.
Well, now
back in the day.
They did. From there, I would see them pretty regularly at the old Sidetrack Cafe or Blues. And then they were on their way up at that point. The only thing that had been out at that point was called like the My Old Self.
Okay.
Yeah. But this was like, I can't remember, maybe the Bear sponsored it or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was this unknown, unheard of band from Southern Alberta opening for them that I sat through and was very like, God, can these please guys just get over with this so I can see Wide Mouth Mason, called Nickelback.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
Nickelback opening for Wide Mouth Mason at the Agricom in New Year's Eve, 98, 99. Yeah.
Man.
They made zero impression on me. Zero. I was just like, man, this is not the most generic thing I've ever heard in my life. My old self. Woo, come on, man. Wide Mouth Mason. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
that's interesting.
And then Wide Mouth Mason is nowhere now, and Nickelback is huge.
Yeah.
Wide Mouth Mason was on this show too.
They're awesome. I'm a fan. They just put out an album. I mean, they're not like
they're great.
They opened for the Rolling Stones. Like they did all kinds of stuff. But
Sean Veralt is an amazing guitar player.
Oh, he's one of the best. Like one of the best in the world.
The 3 of them as a trio were all amazing. Earl left the band though, the bass player, and he started his own band, which I don't know what it is about the band, but like in Wide Mouth Mason, he was one of 3 amazing musicians. In his band now that I won't name, he's the good musician. It's such a weird dynamic. I don't know why, but there's something, I don't know if it's an ego thing. This isn't to talk shit or what, but like it's almost like he intentionally was like, I'm sick of like having to keep up with like these 2 fucking like powerhouse musicians every night. I'm just gonna slum it with these guys.
Yeah, it's something a little more, get the spotlight on him.
Yeah, but it's really disappointing because I used to call it musical gymnastics watching Wide Mouth Mason play.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean Veralt is just like an otherworldly guitar player. They're all like Earl used to play one of those like what do you call them? Those voodoo basses that pan out the frets.
The like a fanned fret. So like the frets like go diagonally like that on the instrument rather than like just straight.
Yeah. So apparently
very interesting.
You can get a little like the intonation is more accurate. But the thing is for your brain to be able to like you learn how to play an instrument and then they're like, oh, by the way, like angle the frets. Like the fact that he could just fucking, just I don't know, just it blew my mind. Anyway, they were an amazing band. So you can see why I was like, and then who's this 4 power chords band? Like why? Like, all right, well, anyway, I'll never hear from them again. Because this is remember, this is they had not released Leader of Men yet. Leader of Men came out maybe a few months after that.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been
I was
long
gonna say
after
shortly
that.
after.
Yeah, yeah.
That was The State, I believe. That was the name of that album. I think you're talking about maybe the Curb album. I think might have been the first one.
Yeah, Leader of Men was like their first kind of slow single, and then that whatever, the Wise Man. Speaking of Christmas, he was a wise man. Oh,
no, he couldn't make it as a wise man.
He couldn't make it as a wise man. Yeah, so that was when it just shot them into the stratosphere. Yeah.
I didn't know they even had held wise man auditions. I would have gone out for that.
Yeah,
that'd been good. I have a beard and everything. Quinn,
you could be a shepherd or a wise man. Or an angel.
Right. Three kings.
I don't think angel.
There's room for 3.
Sure. Well, then they already have 3. They could do 4. Why couldn't there be 4?
The Entourage.
That's right.
The Entourage. Well, they traveled in caravans, so
that's true.
Yeah, there's room for everybody. Of course, we're all white of European descent, and they were kings of Orient, but
shit.
So we're out.
Another dream dashed on the rocks.
Yeah.
Andrew, give us a New Year's story.
So New Year's story is 1999 to 2000. I went on this first date with this girl. It didn't work out, but it was really cool. We had like a bottle of wine and like kind of watched the fireworks. And then it's like, oh, I wonder if the power is going to go out. It was really cool. And then fun little fact, I was working at a restaurant in Grand Prairie at the time, and we had this massive New Year's Eve party, and then everyone cleared out to go check out the fireworks, and whoever was working in the kitchen just left all of the dishes like for the whole evening, didn't do any. So they went in the next day, and like 6 people ended up getting fired because like they just left the kitchen as it was. So it was like, Happy New Year, you're all fired. Which was kind of funny and a little sad. But my brother used to live in Vancouver, and in I don't know, like I was just a kid, maybe like 91, 92, we were out there. And this was the first time I'd ever heard of this whole polar bear swimming thing. And I didn't do it myself. I never have done it, but we went and watched, and there was like hundreds of people jumping into the ocean on New Year's Eve. And it's this thing that like I think a lot of cities do, but Vancouver really embraced it.
Yeah.
And like you paid money and the money went to charity. And it was just so, I was like this, it was cold. It's the ocean. Like it was freezing. I was like, is anyone going to die? Like what's going to happen here? It was really crazy. And it was cool. Like it was really cool. Like to kind of watch just en masse, all of these like people are like, hey, we're lemmings. We're just running into the ocean, and hey, maybe someone's going to die, but it's kind of fun. And we're all, like, just a weird way to celebrate New Year's Eve, but cool, really cool.
They're very popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me.
I'm getting cold just thinking about it. Like, can you imagine that? Just like, it's like -30 and you're just like, hey, I'm going to jump into some really cold water.
It's supposed to be good for you. Shock your system or something.
Yeah.
I keep seeing Mark Wahlberg do it on his Instagram, and I don't know why.
Cold plunges.
Some kind of health benefits.
That's a big thing in the celebrity world right now. They're all trying to get healthy by.
It's something to do with the circulation, I think, because it opens up your capillaries or something like that. Yeah.
Open up your giblets.
I know that,
and shrinks other parts.
Go on to explain it, but I know it does open up like the capillaries or something when the blood flows, I think.
Well, have you ever desperately needed to like wake up and feel energized and a cup of coffee the first thing in the morning's not doing it, and you just take a cold shower?
Never. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
not. That is the worst thing.
Works.
It works. Works like
it
a
does.
charm. No, like seriously, next time you're just dragging your ass and you just kind of like, oh God, why can't I just, if you hop in the shower, full blast cold, just suck it up and do it.
Ugh.
It sounds terrible, but you know what? You'll get out, and 30 seconds later, you'll be like, damn, I feel like taking on the world now.
It'd be like the beginning of that Shania Twain song. Be like just kicking down doors. I feel like a woman.
That's what I do. That's how I psych myself up. Yeah, I throw on Shania Twain, and as soon as she says, let's go, girls, I hop in there.
Oh.
Bring a shower beer with you.
I hold on right till she says, man, I feel like a woman. And then I'm like, all right, that was enough. No.
Well, the I remember a couple New Year's Eve. One, well, as like a 15 or 16-year-old was probably like the first time I had alcohol on New Year's. And like, so we drank like, you know, one of those 2-liter coolers, hanging out at my mom's friend's house, supervised. So there was that. I think we were watching a Simpsons marathon. So yay. And then,
Nice.
I think this might have been 2001, 2002, though. I was the assistant manager of the Pizza Hut at Terralosa.
Nice.
And it was the first year Pizza Hut says, we think we're going to be really busy this year. We're going to stay open till 4 a.m. No, couldn't get anyone to work with me that night. I got one staff member, and he was probably like 17, 18 years old. He was just like, okay, I'll do it. So we just brought a bunch of board games and played them all night because we did not have a single order after 1 a.m. But we're
What?
forced to stay open till 4.
Because nobody thought they could call Pizza Hut till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's like, if you're going to do this, maybe advertise it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everybody's hitting the yellow pages back in the day and looking for like, you know, like, where's that-
A1 pizza.
yeah, 24-hour gangster pizza.
I'm really grateful for your guys' time. Thank you.
No
Oh,
worries.
Absolutely. It was fun.
All right.
All right, see you guys
See you
later.
guys later.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Social media, yeah, we've got it. Send us an email, dopenostalgiapodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, nostalgia dope. Or on Insta, dope_nostalgia.
This podcast is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work.